The arguments about Jose Rizal's retraction seems endless. This became a controversial issue whether Jose Rizal really retracted from what he had stated against the Catholic Church or not. Jose Protasio Rizal Mercado Realonda is a well-known writer and the national hero of the Philippines, and he is one of the reasons why there is a Philippine Revolution. Case study number 3. Did Rizal retract? Jose Rizal is identified as a hero of the revolution for his writings that center on ending colonialism and liberating Filipino minds to contribute to creating the Philippine nation. This means that Jose Rizal contributed a lot in the independence of our country. He used his pen in honor of the rebellion. His weapons were not knives, not guns, but he uses his pen to thwart colonialism and for us to achieve the freedom. The great volume of Rizal's life work has committed to this end, particularly the more influential ones, the Noli Me Tangere and the El Filibusterismo. Through his works, such as Noli Me Tangere and El Filibusterismo, he opened the eyes of many Filipinos and awakened their hearts and minds to fight for their rights and to fight for the freedom against the Spaniards. His essays vilify not the Catholic religion but the friars, the main agents of injustice in the Philippine society. This means that he did not write against the Catholic Church, but he focused his writings on those who abuse us, and those are the friars. It is understandable, therefore, that any piece of writing from Rizal that recounts everything he wrote against the friars and the Catholic Church in the Philippines could deal heavy damage to his image as a prominent Filipino revolutionary. This means that if there is a statement or letter from Rizal that shows that he recounts all that he wrote against the friars and the Catholic Church here in the Philippines, it will have a big impact to his image or reputation as a Filipino revolutionary. Such document purportedly exists, allegedly signed by Rizal a few hours before the execution. This document, referred to as the retraction, declares Rizal's belief in the Catholic faith and retracts everything he wrote against the Catholic Church. This means that the Rizal's retraction of what he said against the Church is said to have been signed by Jose Rizal before his execution. And in this letter, it shows as well the faith of Rizal in the Catholic Church. So this is the Rizal's retraction letter, and it is also translated from the document and also found by Father Manuel Garcia on May 18, 1935. And these are the iterations or the sources of the text of his retraction. The first was published in La Voz Española and Diario de Manila on the day of the execution, December 30, 1896. The second text appeared in Barcelona, Spain in the magazine La Juventud a few months after the execution, specifically February 14, 1897, from an anonymous writer who later revealed himself, and it is Father Vicente Balaguer. However, the original text was only found in the Archdiocese archives on May 18, 1935, almost 4 decades after this appearance.
The Balaguer testimony. Doubts on the retraction document abound especially because only one eyewitness account of the writing of the document exists, that of the Jesus Friar Father Vicente Baliker. Many people are doubting on this document because there is only one witness. That's why many people are not believe on it. According to his testimony, Rizal woke up several times, confessed 4 times, attended the Mass, received communion, and prayed the Rosary, all of which seemed out of the character. But since it is the only testimony of allegedly a primary account that the Rizal ever wrote a retraction document, it has been used to argue the authenticity of the document. Many people are questioning because of its significant differences in the text of the retraction document. It is called primary because there is only one witness. That's why it used to argue in the debate if the document is real or not.
Hello, my name is Monica Sillanes and I will discuss the testimony of Cuerpo de Vigilancia. Another eyewitness account in surface in 2016. Through the research of Professor Rene R. Escalante, in his research, documents of Cuerpo de Vigilancia included a report on the last hours of Rizal, written by Federico Moreno. The report details the statement of the Cuerpo de Vigilancia to Moreno, the one who appeared eyewitness in 2016, through the research of Rene R. Escalante. And the documents of Sir de Vigilancia, there are already stated reports that in the last moments of Rizal, which was written by Federico Moreno. So, Cuerpo de Vigilancia was told to Moreno and Moreno wrote it. The report of Moreno presents another eyewitness accounts of what transpired in Rizal's prison cell before he was executed. It contains several details that could be used for and against claim that Rizal returned to Catholic fold and renounced Mansory. The account may be considered more objective than earlier ones because Moreno, neither a member of the Catholic hierarchy nor a known Mason. He was in Fort Santiago not to serve a particular interest group but simply to perform a function connected with his work. Moreover, the fact that his report was written a day after the event lessened the possibility that it was edited to please a particular group. Since the report is not very long, a translation of it will be presented first before analyzing it. Most illustrations serve the agent of Cuerpo de Vigilancia stationed in Fort Santiago to report on the events during the day in prison of the accused Jose Rizal, informs me on the state of the following. At 7:50 yesterday morning, Jose Rizal entered death row accompanied by his counsel, Senior Taviel de Andrade and the Jesuit priest Villa Clara. At the urgings of the former and moments after entering, he was served a light breakfast. Approximately 9, the adjutant of garrison, Senior Moore, asked Rizal if he wanted anything. He replied that at the moment he only wanted a prayer book, which was brought to him shortly by Father March.
Senor Andrade left death row at 10 and Rizal spoke for a long while with Jesuit fathers, March and Villa Clara. Regarding religious matters, it appears that these two presented him with a prepared retraction on his life and deeds that he refused to sign. They argued about the matter until 12:30 when Rizal ate some poached egg and a little chicken. Afterwards, he asked to leave to write and wrote for a long time by himself. At 3 in the afternoon, Father March entered the chapel and Rizal handed him what he had written. Immediately, the chief of the firing squad, Senor Juan del Fresno, and the assistant of the plaza, Senor Maure, were informed. They entered death row together, with Rizal signed the document that the accused had written. It seemed this was the retraction. From 3 to 5:30 in the afternoon, Rizal read his prayer book several times, prayed kneeling before the altar, and in the company of Fathers Villa Clara and March, read the acts of faith, hope, and charity repeatedly as well as the prayers for the departing soul. At 6 in the afternoon, the following persons arrived and entered the chapel: Teodora Alonso, mother of Rizal, and his sisters Lucia, Maria, Olympia, Josefa, Trinidad, and Dolores. Embracing them, the accused bade them farewell with great strength of character without shedding a tear. The mother of Rizal left the chapel, weeping and carrying 2 bundles of several utensils belonging to her son who had used them while in prison. A little after 8 in the evening, at the urgings of Senor Andrade, the accused was served a plate of tinola, his last meal on earth. The assistant of the plaza, Senor Maure, and Fathers March and Villa Clara visited him at 9 in the evening. He rested until 4 in the morning and again resumed praying before the altar.
At 5 this morning of 13th, the lover of Rizal arrived at the prison, accompanied by his sister Pilar. Both dressed in mourning. Only the former entered the chapel, followed by a military chaplain, whose name I cannot ascertain. Donning his formal clothes and aided by a soldier of artillery, the nuptials of Rizal and the woman who had been his lover were performed at the point of the death, in articulo mortis. After embracing him, she left, flooded with tears. Moreno's report contains details that are not consistent with Father Balaguer affidavit. The most serious and obvious discrepancy is in that Moreno never mentioned Father Balaguer in his report. All throughout the history of retraction controversy, Father Balaguer consistently claimed that he was present in Rizal's prison cell and actively involved in convincing him. When the accused left, I noticed he was very pale, but I am very certain that all the time he was in prison, he demonstrated great strength of the character and compare. Rizal heard Mass and confessed to Father March. Afterwards, he heard another Mass where he received a communion. At 7:30, a European artillery handcuffed him and he left for the place of execution accompanied by various Jesuits, his counsel, and the assistant of the plaza. Father March gave him a holy picture of the Virgin that Rizal kissed repeatedly. All other pro-retractions advocates who came after Father Balaguer took his accounts as historical fact and argued their canonizing him as their primary sources. The Mansons attacked Father Balaguer narrative, but they never questioned his claim that he was witness to this event. However, in Moreno's account, only 2 Jesuits are identified: Father Jose Villa Clara and Father Stanislao March.
Rizal's connection to Katipunan. Rizal's may not have been officially part of Katipunan, but the Katipuneros shows the great appreciation of his work towards the same cause. Out of 28 members of the leadership of Katipunan from 1892 to 1896, 13 were former members of La Liga Filipina. Katipuneros even used Rizal's names as a password. La Liga Filipina is an organization Rizal was founded with Andres Bonifacio as one of its members. La Liga Filipina short-lived as Spaniards exiled Rizal to the Pitan. Former members decided to band together to establish the Katipunan a few days after Rizal's exile from the Pitan on July 7, 1892. On 1896, Katipuneros decided to inform Rizal to their plans to launch the revolution. They sent Pio Valenzuela to visit Rizal. The visit of Valenzuela is highly doubted by scholars. According to Valenzuela, Rizal objected the plans. The reason is doing that is a highly tantamount to suicide since it would be difficult to fight the Spaniards, who is more advantaged in military. He also added that the leader of Katipunan must do everything to prevent the spilling of Filipino blood. Valenzuela informed Rizal that the revolution could inevitably break out if Katipunan were discovered by the Spaniards. Rizal advised that Katipunan should first secure the support of wealthy Filipinos to strengthen their cause. Rizal also suggested that Antonio Luna must be recruited to direct the military movement of the revolution.
Did Rizal retract? The retraction of Rizal is the fact that the document is forgery. As stated in the online source joserizal.ph, maintained by Jose Rizal University, which also revealed by Father Boligar himself. The copy of document retraction was signed by Jose Rizal, was kept secret, and only published in newspaper. Then when Rizal's family requested the copy of it document, they said it was lost. But 39 years later, the original copy was found. Instead of ending the doubt, it caused more arguments and questions to many.